and welcome to another episode of Ask Jason's Mom. I'm Deborah Vine, CEO of The Answer Incorporated, Autism Awareness and Support Agency, where we're dedicated to providing support, resources, education, recreation, and advocacy for families impacted by autism and other developmental differences. This is the second half of a two-part series on transitioning your child back to school. Let's go over the first half of the tips that we provided for you guys. Tip number 1, talk to your child about what to expect in the upcoming year. Number 2, cross days off on your calendar. Number 3, create a new morning routine and practice it before the start of the school year. Number 4, take a tour of the school. Number 5, walk through emergency procedures on your visit. Number 6, create a daily school schedule for your child. Number 7, have your child meet the teacher before the beginning of the year. Number 8, write a letter outlining your child's strengths, weaknesses, possible sensory issues, dietary restrictions, and favorite reinforcers. In this episode, I have some more tips for you, starting with tip number 9. Prep slowly. Our children feed off our emotions, so if we are just super bogged out about where the clothes are, where the supplies are, I didn't go to the store, I didn't get the paper, I didn't do this, I didn't do it. If you are prepared way ahead of time, your kid won't feel your stress. So make sure that you prep early on your kid going back to school. Make sure you have the supplies ready, the clothes ready, the time schedule ready, the food prep ready, what are they going to take for lunch. Have everything set so your child won't feed off your emotions and won't go to school all over the place. Number 10, keep your IEP available. I have multiple copies of, when Jason was getting the IEP, you get an ISP now. But when Jason was getting the IEP, I had multiple copies available. One at home, one in my car that I might have to pull out randomly depending on where I am with him. But make sure that you have multiple copies available of your child's IEP. I even had electronic copies of IEPs available because sometimes you might want to have an emergency IEP meeting, you might want to go see an advocate, you might go in to see a new doctor. So you want to make sure that that IEP is readily available. Number 11, snap photos for social stories. It's like, say, for instance, you can have a social story about the routine in the morning. You can have a social story about getting on the bus. You can have a story about getting off the bus, what's going to happen when you get home. A social story about what could possibly happen at school. Take multiple pictures and just start putting together the social stories. And this is something that you can do with your kiddo because they love looking at pictures anyway. So snap multiple pictures. We all have our cell phones taking pictures. So make use of it and do a social story. Number 12, schedule your child's school physical. That would be the dental, hearing, eye exam. Don't wait until the nurse asks you for it or 2 days before it's time for your kiddo to go back to school and it's a waiting room full of other parents with kids that's going to put you into anxiety, going to put your kid into anxiety. Schedule your examinations early. Do them a month ahead of time so that when it's time to go back to school, you'll have the examination ready to go before the nurse asks you for it. Lastly, number 13, talk to your child over and over again about what's about to take place, whether it's a new school, whether they're returning to the same school, whether they're going to have a new teacher, whether it's a possibility they're going to have new children in their classroom. Just have the conversation with them because we're talking to ourselves. We're saying, okay, it's time for the kiddo to go back to school. It's going to be a new teacher. Make sure that you have this conversation with your child, whether they're nonverbal or verbal. You want to prep them and get them ready to be able to transition them back into a new school year. I hope that these tips were helpful in preparing you and your kiddo to have an amazing school year. And we hope to see you at our upcoming gala September 21st at Waterford Banquets in Elmhurst. You can have all that information regarding our gala, school tips, and much more at our website at www.theanswerinc.org or give us a call at 708-296-5651. If you have a question about parenting a child with special needs or resources, leave it in the comments section and you just might be featured on the next episode of Ask Jason's Mom. See you next time.